Hello everyone, this is an Aimsun video today, a short one. I will continue talking about view modes that I started in the previous video. In that one we looked at labels. In this video I will take it further and I will show some more interesting things about labels, but I will also be looking at colors. You can see a simple example in the background, so I will just use sections in this case. Previously I used turns, basically, and turns attributes. So when you use view modes and view styles, or when you use a view mode, you can use multiple view styles. And in this video, you can see I already have two selected. And I will also use some extra features. So let's look at this one. This is section flow color. In this one, there are two styles applied. One that actually colors sections, and the other one that adds a label. So we can just see the numbers here, the flow. So I'm going to use flow attribute from sections, and to show that, it is very important that you have a scenario that you have the results for. You can either retrieve it, but sometimes retrieval is not super reliable. So you might need to run it. Make sure that there is a blue circle. If you see an error message, even after running it, that originator cannot be applied here in this corner, it can be, what it means is there is no data to show, basically. And it happens sometimes when you run and you have the results, but it's maybe a bug or something. So the way you can solve it is you right click on another scenario, activate that, and then you right click on the scenario you want to show the results for, and then it will work. If I just go back to show you, this is the error message you would get. And sometimes even if the active one is the one you need, you still may need to do that switch. Okay. So if we go back to our new mode I created, so there are two. Let's go to the color one because that is new. In this one, I use object sections and I take the attribute flow. And here, so just make sure that you select style color. This will color the object for you. So in this part, when you color it, it makes sense if you have multiple like ranges, like that you can assign a color. So by creating new, you can create like new ranges, and then you can manually just type in the new number. So if you want it for 100, or to be 100, if you want it 100 .01, and then after 2000 you have something else. So if you OK it, you see the colors will change because the flow is shown on the label. So you can see that the flow is 260 until it's 311. So preferably we want to do colors or ranges set up in a way that the range just changes. So if I put 270 here and I put 270.01, that would mean that pink will be that section and pink will be those, oh sorry, green will be this section and pink will be those sections. Yeah. So if I OK it, and also you can change the color by just clicking here, and you can just click on the symbol color, and then you can change the color that whatever you want. So I just OK that. And you can see that now the colors change. There is one other thing. I told you about a trick for the labels. So let's look at that. So I'm going to, you try to avoid having two styles in the same mode that uses the same representation. So you don't want to have two colors, two attributes, or whatever. So I'm going to use an attribute, so I remove this attribute and add an existing style, and that is volume over capacity. So how does it work? You can set, so if I go and edit it, as you can see, I okayed it, so now it shows. So it is an attribute label, obviously, because it's just a text label. Object type is again section, because section has the attribute, in this case, for capacity. And I also have the flow. So what I do, volume over capacity is volume divided by capacity, basically. So flow per capacity. So what you do, you select attribute flow, make sure that you have attribute selected, and then there is a divided by option, and in this one you can select another attribute, and in this case capacity is the one you need to select. And in this case you can it probably makes sense to select like multiple decimals, because it can be like here, it can be a small value. You can also change it to percentage if you want. In this case it might make sense, might not. I probably would prefer without it, but it's just an option that you can consider. And also probably like 2 decimal is fine. And you have then the same settings as before. So with this one you can create like all kinds of visualization you want, but you can also use just color for it. So you can even do a color for this. So I can just click new, and instead of infinity, I can put 0.29, and here 0.2901 to infinity, and I just delete the last one. So let's just see if I remove that one. So let's just keep that volume over capacity. As you can see now, you can just use the color scheme for that one as well. So it is very powerful. You can set up all kinds of things. And it can be very helpful when you need to create your own. Of course, by default, Aimsun has a lot of predefined view modes. You can see them, when you open a new model. So it's all good. However, there are also view modes that are not shown here at the moment. But when you do something, so let's say you check validation for something. I don't have the data set yet, but when you do that, when you click and it shows the GH values, then a view mode will pop up here, and then you can also edit that if you want. Just make sure that these default ones probably have some limitations on how much you can edit. Thanks a lot for watching again. Please consider liking, subscribing, or even supporting me on Patreon or on YouTube. That would be very cool. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. I try to respond. See you in the next one.